Hey guys. All right, so this video is about being able to graph. And there are three types of graphs presented in this video. One is a line, so you already know that. Okay. One is an absolute value, and you need to remember that absolute values are always V's. Okay. And the other is a quadratic, and quadratic are always U's. I hope you remember that from the graphing project. The only thing we didn't do was the absolute value. And an absolute value, if you think about it, is it's like a line. It doesn't have a square in it at all. It's the absolute value of x plus something or whatever, whatever it may be. But the idea is that, remember, absolute values are always positive. So it's almost like the line comes down and then the absolute value piece of it is like, you're not going to go more negative. We're going to pop you back up to positive. So it becomes a V. All right. The way to do all of these graphs is all the same. It's going to be input, output table, input, output table. But there are some strategies. There's strategies to graphing parabolas, and there's strategies to graphing the absolute value. It's really important that you understand there's a vertex. And if you can identify the vertex, then you always want to get at least a couple points to the side, to each side of the vertex. Now you can reflect them because there is an axis of symmetry, but that is if you understand it. Otherwise, get 2 points to the right, 2 points to the left. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first one is simply asking you to change your brain from moving from y equals mx plus b to function. So basically, it's the same exact thing. Look, y is f of x, m is a, and b is b. It's the same thing. A is m, okay, f of x is y. It's just changing the way you, oh, look at this. I'm not even touching my tablet. Okay, stop that crazy thing, you. Here we go. All right, so it's just asking you to change it to function notation. So you're getting this, but you can still think of it as y. And if you need to, you can actually change it to y. I mean, I wouldn't fault you for that until your brain makes the switch. And that's kind of what needs to happen. The brain has to make a switch. So again, input output table. I'm always going to ask you to do that unless you know the fast way, which, by the way, at this point, I'm not teaching anymore. So it says negative x minus 5. So we're going to be plugging in x values here. I did want to show you this other way I've seen some teachers do, which is to actually draw the calculation table or the calculation in the table itself. So like you go here, sorry, my lines are really crooked. It's a good thing this thing kind of autocorrects for me, huh? Geez. Okay, so then you write the function right here. I did want to show you, this is always an option. And then it spits out f of x, or in this case, g of x. Let's try g of x. It didn't say f of x, it said g of x. So g of x. Okay, so in this case, this is going to be g of x, and that's x. All right, so let's pick some values. Usually I pick a -1, 0, and 1. That's my own personal choice. Okay, I actually like doing that. So you're going to be plugging in for x in all of these, okay? The only thing that changes is the x. All of this remains the same. So when you plug in the x, it's going to look like this. I usually say put parentheses because it's really easy to screw up on the negative, okay? So you can just plug it right here in the table and then write the answer. So the negative of a -1 is +1 minus 5 is -4. -0 is 0 minus 5 is -5. And now you should see a pattern because I went up by 1 each time. If it's a linear equation, you'll start to see some kind of pattern here, and we are going down 1 each time. So this should be a -6. -1 minus 5, yep, -6. All right, you have 3 points right there. -1, -4, -1, -4, 0, -5, and 1, -6. And there you go. And I'll make this a nice straight line. And I should have extended it forever. You know, not that swift. Okay, there you go. All right, and there is your line. Moving on. Okay, so same thing. The only thing that they're offering different here is a fractional slope. That's or I guess that's kind of to make sure that you understand how to do it if you're graphing at y equals mx plus b. And if you know how to graph at y equals mx plus b, good for you. I'm going to show you a table. So it's x, and then I'm going to actually put the equation in. That was kind of nice, by the way. I kind of like that, and I've never done it before. I've seen it done. I just have never done it myself. Okay, wow, I'm so happy this thing's autocorrects. 1, 2, 3. Pick 3 values. Now, here's the trick, okay? And I'm going to put the trick in a different color. We'll put it in orange. Here's the trick. Okay, trick. Pick values that are multiples of the denominator. It's a nice little trick. So the denominator is 4. So let's pick -4, 0. Always pick 0, please. Always pick 0 and 4. And now you're going to plug it in. So here we go. Change back to red. Okay, so again, it goes 3/4, and we're going to multiply this by x minus 8. 3/4 times x minus 8. And because we picked multiples of the denominator, we are not going to have to do some crazy common denominator. Okay, you'll see. So I'm going to pick, I already picked rather, multiples. You know what? I'm sorry that moved, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, let's go with orange. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to plug it in -4 over 1, 0 over 1, if you will, and 4 over 1. We didn't need to put the over 1. I just wanted to show you. These cancel, and you get 3. Or you just multiply across, and you get 12 divided by 4, which is 3. 3 minus 8, -5. 3/4 times 0 is 0, minus 8. And 3/4 times -4. This is going to be a -1. 3 times -1 is -3. Minus 8 is -11. So we get -4, -11, which is down here one, okay? 0, -8, right here, and 4, -5, right here. Okay, so we should have a straight line if I did it right. Okay, close enough. I kind of missed on that. Wait, did I not do it right? -4, -11, 0, -8. Oh, I put it at 3. That's why it doesn't work out right. You can tell that you did it wrong when it doesn't match up in a nice, sweet line. 4, -5. Here it is. Oops. Let's try that. I'm taking off my line. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. There we go. Did I have line? I have line on still. Dang it. Okay, here we go. You guys, I'm going to fix this. Freehand on. All right, here we go. It's 4, -5 right here. Oh, my goodness gracious. Come on, little guy. There we go. Okay. And then, oh, guess what? I even have an arrow tool. The reason why is because these lines go on forever. So we should end in an arrow. Oh, it didn't have an arrow here. Let me make one. There. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So that's it. Graph the line. Moving on. All right, so now we get to absolute value. Absolute values are in the shape of V. Much like parabolas, if the first, oh wow, how funny, sorry. If the first value, I'll take that off. Okay, if the value of A, okay, is positive, then it's going to go up. Okay, meaning it's kind of like this: y equals A times the absolute value of X. It can actually have an H here plus K. Okay, this could, HK is your vertex. This could be the vertex right here. Okay, HK. This is the parent formula. Remember we did those in that project? You have parent formulas. This is a simplified. It only has A. And if A is positive, it goes up. If A is negative, it goes down. Okay. When A is less than 0. All right. So again, we're simply going to pick values. Okay. I'm going to go make a bar, make a table. And I think I like this method. I'm going to stick with it, y'all. Wow. I really suck at this. Okay, here we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to pick -1, 0, and 1. And for absolute values, it's kind of good to always get maybe another couple if you have to. Like you may have to make sure you find the vertex. Now, I happen to know that 0, 0 is the vertex. You know why? Because there is no H and there is no K. Therefore, if there is no H and K, then it means it is 0, 0. I hope you guys can see that. The H doesn't exist, neither does the K. All right, so we're going to plug this in. 5, sorry about that. Let's try getting that nice and neat. 5, 5, 5, absolute value, absolute value, absolute value. Now don't forget the absolute value, you cannot multiply within the absolute value. So you have to, in other words, find the absolute value first. Okay, so we're going to put a -1 in here, -1, 0, and 1. So the absolute value of -1 is 1 times 5, 5. Absolute value of 0, 0 times 5, 0. 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1. 1 times 5, 5. So here we go. We've got -1, 5. Okay, you can see that's pretty steep because 5 is a steep slope. Okay, if you think about it, it's not the slope because it's an absolute value, but it's kind of like the slope. Okay, 0, 0. I hope you get that because if you do, it's kind of fun. All right, now I'm going to turn on my AA and my LL. Okay, here we go. Ready? I'm going to go through it up here. There's one side and there's the other side. Now you can kind of see in an absolute value that's not exactly perfect, but it's not bad. There is actually an axis of symmetry, okay? And it goes straight down the middle right here, okay? So it goes, we're just going, oh, wow, I do not want the AA on. Okay, just gonna go down here. Okay, this is, I turned off the arrow, but I guess I didn't. Okay, there we go. Okay, that is the axis of symmetry. And the name of that line, if you remember, vertical lines are named X. And that is X is equal to 0. You don't have to name the axis of symmetry, but that's coming up. So I wanted to get it in your brain. Okay, here we go. Next. Okay, this is graphing a parabola. Okay. A parabola, again, is shaped like this. It is curved. It does not have a V. It goes up or it goes down, cup up, cup down. This is when A is positive, and this is when A is negative. The way we write A as positive is A is greater than 0, and A is less than 0. That means it's negative. Okay? So it says plot how many? 5 points on the parabola. The vertex, it wants the vertex, 2 points to the left and 2 points to the right. It doesn't say that because, hey, let's say to do that. Go over there. Go over there. Get back. Okay, get back. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to plot the vertex first. Okay, sorry. There is a vertex formula, okay? But if you can see, this particular formula only has an A. It's y equals ax squared. It's a simplified formula. The only thing you have to worry about is the A, okay? If you guys remember, there is also vertex formula, and we're not there, which is y is equal to A times x minus h quantity squared plus k. As you can see, there's no h and there's no k, so therefore the vertex is 0, 0. Okay? When you have a simplified form like this, you are expected to realize that the vertex is at 0, 0. You could try that though by plugging in values into the table. I'm going to erase the vertex formula because we're not going to use it. I just wanted to show it to you. So now we're going to do a table. Okay, so I'm going to go down and I'm going to go ahead and put the formula in again because it's nice. I'm loving it. Okay, and we are going to erase these two lines because they don't need to exist right now. Okay, all right. And I'm not going to stay with yellow because it's too light. Let's go to pink because I haven't used that yet. So we're going to go 1/3 x squared. Okay, and we're going to go with 5 points. Okay, so we're going to go with, we know 0, 0. Okay, if 0, 0 is the vertex, I'm going to go ahead and plug in 0, okay? But 2 points to the left would be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Now that kind of looks like it'd be a good idea, but it's actually going to give you fractions. So again, when there's a fraction, a good little trick is you can always pick 1. By the way, we're still going to get fractions. But a good little trick is to pick multiples of the denominator. Now, I don't know if I have, do I have enough space? If I pick 3, that's going to be 9. 1/3 of 9 is 3. If I pick 6, that's going to be 36. 1/3 of 6, 36 is 12. I don't have enough space. So I think I'm just going to leave it here. In Alex, you guys can input it in with the point tool. You could do that. So, and you can input it as a fraction. So we're just going to leave it as fractions because I'm pretty sure that's how Alex is going to have you do it as well. So let's do this. We're going to go 1/3 x squared, 1/3 x squared, 1/3 x squared, 1/3 x squared, 1/3. And then we're going to get our y. Here we're going to input our x. All right, I'm going to switch colors because we're going to go ahead and input this. -2 is going to be here on the top. -2 squared. Put it in parentheses and your life will be better. Okay, keep it on the top and your life will be better. Okay, so you don't lose where it is. And remember, this is always multiplication. Okay, good. All right, so -2 squared is 4, and your answer is 4/3. -1 squared is 1, your answer is 1/3. 0 is 0 times 1/3 is 0. 1 is 1/3, and you're going to find that you will see the symmetry because the square turns that positive. So 4/3. Now you can input them. I'm going to go ahead and try to put them. It's going to be a little hard, you guys, because look, 1 is 1/3. So it's like right here. Okay, no, sir. Okay, here we go. That almost looks like 1/2. I tried. 1/3. And then 2 is 4/3, which is 1 and 1/3. Okay. So imagine you're splitting it into 3 and going up 1/3. All right. And then you would just connect these. Whoa. Wow. How'd you like that? Is that a little trip right there? Okay. There we go. Geez, that was a little weird. All right. So now, must have hit that. Okay. You're going to go make a curve. I kind of want to go a little bit further. If I put in 3, you guys, if I put in -3, I'm going to get -3 squared, which is 9. 1/3 is 3. That's a point. As is, I'm attempting to write, as is +3. 3. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so I can get my curve correct because otherwise I don't think I will. There we go. Okay. And you come down like this and you just connect the dots in a smooth curve as good as you can. Okay. And that's it. I'm sorry it's plug and play, but that's what it is. There's no fast way to do this. The only faster way is to go ahead and get these 2 points. And if you understand the axis of symmetry, you can reflect them to the other side. This again is your axis of symmetry coming down. It is, did it ask you for the axis? It didn't, but it might later. X = 0 is your axis of symmetry. And you can see that these are exactly the same distance from the y-axis. So you could reflect it if you wanted to. If you knew, if you graph these, you can reflect them to the other side. All right, next. Okay, so same thing, all they're doing, but now they're adding something at the end here. Okay, so I'm going to switch colors. I do not like the yellow. Here we go. We're going to make a chart. Okay, actually, I'm going to go further. Another line. Digging this today. X and Y. Notice we left function notation. I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like they think it's harder for you or something. Okay, we're going to be plugging in X. Okay, and what should we plug in? Plug in, oh, you just want to start. You want to start plugging in something that might equal 0. That's probably the best way to look at it, is try to see if you can get 0 in this quantity, or you can remember this form. Vertex form, check it out. What does that mean? It means that H is actually 0. Do you guys see that? So this has a vertex of 0, -1. Okay, I need to teach you one more thing to find the vertex. Okay, we actually need to learn how to find the vertex. To find the vertex, there's a nice little trick, and it is the x value of the vertex, which is h, is equal to -b over 2a. So you remember you have ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. Okay, this is standard form. Woo, sorry about that. Let's try this again. All right. Okay, so you're going to grab b from the equation and divide it by 2a. So if you look at the equation, a is equal to 1, and b is equal to 0, and c is equal to -1. You don't even have a b. When you don't have a b, that means your x value is 0, okay? And then you plug it back in, okay? Plug in to find k, okay? And we're going to do that. We're going to do that in our chart right here. Okay, we got to get 5 points. I think I'm going to find the vertex first and then go to the right and go to the left, okay? So let's find the vertex. We know x is the value of the vertex. By the way, you do this for everyone, even if I do the one that we just did. Check it out. Okay, what was A? A is 1/3, B is 0. So here, if I had done h is equal to -b over 2a, I would have still done h is 0 over, who cares? Okay, at this point, it doesn't matter because 0 divided by anything is 0. So you can see that 0, 0, when we plugged it in, was the vertex. So worked on every single one. You need to write this formula down. I recommend memorizing this formula. Okay, not the 0 piece, obviously. Okay, let's plug it in. 0 squared. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Okay, let me go ahead and do this. Shorter version. That's what you need. Okay, then for every single value, we are going to subtract 1, right? Okay, and then here, let's plug in 2 to the left. I'm going to plug in the negative values because those are the ones most screwed up. We're going to go 2 to the left because 0 is right here, -1, -2. All right, so now, and then, well, it says 2 to the left and 2 to the right. That's what it says. The vertex, 2 points to the left and 2 points to the right. So we would plug in 1 and 2. Okay, I know that we don't even know y yet, but it doesn't matter because we're looking at the x values, okay? I think it might be a little confusing, but it'll be clear in a second. Okay. Okay, so we're going to plug in 0, and look, you get -1. That is your vertex. Your vertex is 0, -1. So we know it goes like this. You also want to double check. A is positive. If A is positive, tell yourself, oh yeah, that's right, it's going to go cup up, just so you know the shape. So in case you don't get the right answers, you will know that you messed up somewhere. So you're expecting a cup up. All right, let's plug this in. Okay, put it in parentheses, please. -1 squared, -2 squared, 1 squared, and 2 squared. So -1 squared is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're going to go -1, 0. Okay, -2 squared is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So -2, that's not 5, that's a 3. Okay, -2, 3. -2, 3. All right, so we have half of our parabola. If you can reflect it and know that this is our axis of symmetry again. They're giving you really easy parabolas, by the way. Okay, that's your axis of symmetry, x equals 0, axis of symmetry. Okay, you can reflect it to the other side. I know that 1 is going to be 0, and I know that 2 is going to be 3. I could check it out here. 1 squared minus 1, 0. 2 squared is 4 minus 1, 3. You could double check. You can always double check. For some reason, I have a hard time writing curves with this thing. All right, so here we go. All you have to do is connect in a smooth curve. I will attempt to do this on my tablet. Not very pretty, guys. I tried. It's really, really hard. Oh my Lord. This is ugly. Okay, but you get the idea. I'm going to try again just because maybe if I go from the right, not really. Honestly, that was not very good. Okay, the idea. I could do so much better on paper. But that is the idea of graphing. You always need to get the vertex and then 2 to the left and 2 to the right. And this is going to be the formula you're going to find to get your h, and then you plug it in to find your k, and then you will have your vertex. And in this case, that was 0, -1. Okay, next. Oh my gosh, it's the same thing we just did, except for look, instead of y, they changed it to f of x. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the vertex. Okay, so to find the vertex, we're going to use the formula h is equal to negative, let's try that again, negative b over 2a. Okay, identify a, b, and c from the formula. Again, you have f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. A is the coefficient of x squared, b is of x, c is the constant. So a is equal to -1/2, b is 0. If b is 0, you guys, it's going to be 0. X is going to be 0. We know it's going to be on here. Wow, they're really giving you guys easy problems. Okay. You know what? Let's not complain when they're easy, huh? Miss Baca, let it go. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're going to plug in 0. We're going to write -1/2 x squared, and then we're going to plug in x squared. So we're going to write -1/2 on all of these. Okay. Okay, and then we are going to plug in x squared. I'm going to pick 0 and 2 to the right. Now this time I'm going to be lazy, and I'm going to pick the positive values. 1, 2. So I want to go to the positive because they're easier. Okay, so here we go. We're going to be plugging in. Okay, here we go. We're going to be plugging in 4, 0 squared. So 0 squared is 0. 0 times that is 0, 0. Got it. First point, 0, 0. That's your vertex. Okay, that's your vertex. 1/2 times 1 squared, -1/2 times 1 squared, or I should say 1 squared is 1. -1/2 times 1 is -1/2. So 1, -1/2 right here. Okay, 2. So we're going to go 2 squared. And you'll see that because it's a multiple of the denominator, it's going to cancel nicely. 4, 2 squared is 4, -1/2. 1/2 of 4 is 2, and it's negative, so -2. Okay. You guys can always use a calculator if you want. It's better to not, but you know what? It's fine. So we did 2 to the right. And then we now need to reflect them 2 to the left. You can predict it. This is going to be -1/2, and -2 is going to be -2. -2, -2, -1, 1/2. Don't believe me? Plug it in and you will see, because this turns to positive. -2 squared is +4. 4 times 1/2 is 2 times -2. Got it? All right, so I'm going to attempt to draw the curve, and you guys could have noticed, I guess, before we even did this. Sorry, I'm trying real hard, guys. Okay, you could have known before we even started that this was negative, and if A is negative, it's cup down. Okay, it's always good to check that. Okay, next one. And this is the last one. Okay, ooh, they gave you an A and they gave you a C. It's not that much harder, just a little bit more in calculations. Again, remember ax squared plus bx plus c, so a is equal to 4, b is equal to 0. Guess what? That means your x is equal to 0. It says 1 point with x equals 0. They're even letting you know. They're not even expecting you to know the whole h is equal to negative b over 2a thing. Okay, they're telling you what to do. Here we go. Ready? Okay, that was ugly. Come on, machine. You were doing so pretty. Come on. You got this. Nope. Let's try again. Okay. Why are your notes so long, Miss Baca? Because you're trying to draw straight lines. Here we go. I really was trying to draw straight lines, I promise. Okay, so we go 4x squared minus 4. Okay, and they say to plug in 0. Okay, I'm going to plug in 2 to the right, which is 1 and 2, and of course reflect it to the other side with a -1 and -2. So each time we're going to multiply by 4 and subtract 4. I'm only doing the color coding thing because it makes it pretty. If you have trouble with transferring numbers or anything, it's also a really good trick to use highlighters. Hey, give me color, man, give me color. It's a really nice trick to use colors. Okay, so we're going to go 0 squared. Sorry about that lack of curve. 1 squared away. Okay. Oh, let's try that again. It doesn't like my left hand parentheses. I have a hard time drawing them. It's so funny. There we go. I just have to really exaggerate it. Okay, there we go. All right. 0 squared is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 minus 4 is -4. There we go. So 0, -4 is our vertex. A is positive. It means it's going to go cup up. Okay, so we know that. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 4. 4 minus 4, 0. Okay, 2 squared is 4. 4 times 4, 16. 16 minus 4 is 12. There we go, 12. Okay, so let's check that out. So we got 1 0, okay, and 2 12, which is way up here. And I can't do it without opening up a sticky, so I guess I'll get as close as I can. Okay, I'm going to reflect it. I can see the axis of symmetry is right here. Every single time, you guys, they have not even moved you over. They're being so easy on you. Okay, 0, 2, 12, here we go. And then try to connect it. I am not going to succeed. I can already tell you this is so far down and I am not that good. Although, hey, not as bad. Hey, not as bad as I thought. Okay, draw your parabola and there you go. I reflected it. You could plug it in. You would see that it is indeed, come on, 0 and 12, if you figure out the math. All right, I think that's it. Yep, that's it.